Jason here again. Today I want to share with you what I've been doing for my drum tracks for about a year now. What I'm using are drum loops that were recorded in a professional studio by a company called Beta Monkey, and it's their Double Bass Mania series. Double bass, metal, yes, metal. Anyway, this Beta Monkey Double Bass Mania series, and I've actually got the 2, 3, and 4 series that I've been using. So I like using them. I was a little weary of jumping into the programs. I know there's various programs out there that you can program your own drums with, and I know they sound great and they're polished and all that good stuff, but I didn't really want to jump into that. It seemed really time consuming, and I had been using loops that comes with PreSonus Studio One, which is the recording software that I use. But I was looking for something more metal. Once again, metal. So I stumbled upon, and I forget how I stumbled upon this. I stumbled upon Beta Monkey's Double Bass Mania series, so I decided to order it. It's relatively inexpensive, especially compared to some of the software programs out there for drums. So anyway, I created this quick video. Well, it's not quick, it's probably 12-13 minutes long. But I created this video to show you how to install them and how I integrate them into the studio. So here we go. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the Double Bass Mania drum loops. I'm going to do this in 2 sections. First, really quick, I'm going to show you just how to install it. I know that's a basic part, but I have gotten a few questions on how to install them. Then the second part is I'm going to show you how I integrate them into my studio. So first things first, I got this in the mail, Double Bass Mania, Double Bass. Sounds pretty cool. You can download this from their site once you pay for it. Just Google Beta Monkey Double Bass Mania and you'll find it. I can't remember the exact website, but I got mine in the mail. You can see the disc. I inserted the disc in my disk drive and I copied the files over to my documents. So if we open up my documents, what I did is I created folders. I've got Double Bass Mania again, 2, 3, and 4. So I've got 3 folders here for 2, 3, and 4. For this video, I'm going to show you Double Bass Mania 3, and this is on my hard drive. This is under my documents, under my Double Bass Mania 3 folder. Again, you just copy the files and bring them over. And then here, once I click in there, you can see all the BPMs, 180, 200, 220, 240. There's some single hits, one shots for cymbals and that sort of thing. But if we open up one of these folders, now you can see all the wave files. And I think Double Bass Mania 3 and 4, I think they both come with like 1,000 or 1,100 loops, something like that. So anyway, that's how you install it. You can get rid of that, meow. The second part is how to use them. Now, the studio software I'm using is PreSonus Studio One Pro 2. And I think most software programs for recording are relatively the same. I know there's some differences. So hopefully you can watch what I'm doing in PreSonus Studio One and cater it to whatever program you're using. But in Studio One, you can see down here on the bottom right, I've got instruments, I've got effects for my VSTs, there's a few other tabs. There's one tab that says files, and your studio should have something like that to where it lets you access whatever's on your hard drive. So in my case, in using Studio One, this is my hard drive. It's my desktop, there's my documents and so forth. Open up my documents here. I go down to DB Mania 3, the folder I created, and I've got 180 already open there because I was using that earlier. So open 180 up. Now before you get started, you want to set your studio to the appropriate BPM. In my case, I go down here and I can change my BPM down here. I've got it set to 180. So it's already set to 180. Now the cool thing about this is you can double click, at least in Studio One, and again you should be able to do this. I believe you can do this in Reaper and probably most programs. You can double click on anything here, any one of the wave files, and it'll play so you can see what it sounds like before you actually start putting it on a track. So let's just double click this one. Oh, hold on one second, no sound. Okay. So you can click on any one of these files. That's with a different type of symbol here. There's fills. Did you fill that? Very bad pun. Another fill here. That one's pretty cool. And you've got all sorts of files in here. You've got some with open hi-hat, closed hi-hat. You've got ride grooves here. Here's another one. So anyway, you get the idea. You've got several files in here to choose from. Now, what I do, I'll choose a file I like. Let's just pick this first one that we got here, play that one. And I will simply drag it over. I won't even create a track. You don't even have to create a track in Studio One. You can create a track and drag it over, or I don't know how other studio software setups work, but this one in PreSonus you can just drag and drop, which is one of the reasons why I like Studio One so much. Now that's just one little loop there, so if I click play, it runs out after it's done. So what you want to do is duplicate that. If you want to keep that beat going for however long you want it to go, in Studio One you press D and like that, and it duplicates it. So it's almost like a copy paste function. Or you can copy and paste it. You can probably do that too, but D just duplicates what you already have in there. Now what I usually do for my very first track, because I hate playing to metronomes and click tracks, I will just click D's. You know, D's over here, those over there. Bad pun again, sorry. I'll just keep clicking D's for like 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes worth of track. So that way I've got like a drum track to play along with to write my first rhythm to, instead of playing to a click track or metronome, because that's boring. So anyway, that's how you do that. So you can duplicate this as many times as you need to. Now I usually have 2 tracks for drums. If I close the 180 here and go down to the single shots, and I'll open, because there's this the Double Bass Mania 3 comes, I think all of them come with like single hit drums and cymbals and so forth. So I'll find a crash in here. I like that one, so let's just use that. You've got several you got crashes, chinas, all kind of stuff, rides. So I'll just bring this over here, and let's just put it right here after 2 measures of that track. So now we can go back, and you'll hear, after 2 measures of the first track, you'll hear the crash integrated in there. Hear that? Now another thing you can do, or another thing I do, let's go back to the 180. You can add fills wherever you want to. Don't like that one. So let's try that one. So I can drag this fill. You can do a new track for this if you want, or you can just drag it over. Now I'll drag it over on top of the other track. Just that you can right click on this and you can send to front or send to back. Or, I mean, if you want to, you can just delete this part altogether. Or if you don't want to delete it altogether, you can also decrease these. You can grab the side of it here, and you can make it shorter if you wanted to. You know, like if I had a fill that was just this length here, I would just make this track shorter and insert the fill here. But in this case, we don't even need that, so I can just delete that. I can leave it here, bring it up, it doesn't matter. But let's go back and let you hear what that sounds like. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's basically what I do. I integrate several types of drum loops. I might use that first groove that we put in. I might use that for, let's say, the rhythm section. I might choose another groove with a different type of crash and different type of double bass beat for the chorus. Then I might choose a double bass groove with a ride, for example, for my guitar solo part. So, and I'll insert. Usually I insert fills in between, like when I'm changing grooves, if I'm changing the type of groove I'm using, the type of loop, then I'll throw a fill in there and I'll throw some cymbals in there. So again, 2 tracks here for me. You can add as many tracks as you want. If you wanted to have several cymbals, you know, you can see how long this file is here for the crash cymbal. You know, they carry over a little bit. So if you want to have several cymbals, you could drop another one here and so forth, however you want to do it. So for the sake of length, I'm going to end the video now, but if you have any questions, as always, please contact me and I will try my best to help. So that's a wrap.